He was a joy to talk to.
What happened was I got hired as a coach on the first big film that John Frankenheimer did, which starred Burt Lancaster. And it was Burt Lancaster who, for some reason, started pushing me into directing. I did 4 years of television, and 3 of those years I got nominated for Emmys. And when that happens, the movie industry in those days started to pay a little bit of attention to you if you got these Emmy nominations. And then I started to get film offers. In 1965, I did my first film as a director. It was a film called The Slender Thread. It wasn't a very good film in terms of my work. It was a very well-performed film. It was Sydney Pollack and Anne Bancroft, who had just each won Academy Awards the year previously. And it was based on a Life magazine novel about what we call crisis clinics. It was the start of this sort of 24-hour-a-day helpline. And you have to take Dramamine to watch it. You get seasick, because I was trying so hard to to impress you with the fact that I could really be a movie director, that you really need to take seasick pills. It's just the cameras all over the place from helicopters, and I don't know what I was trying to do. And I didn't really get rolling till the second picture, which was called This Property is Condemned. That was the first one I did with Redford, and that was with Natalie Wood and Robert Redford and Charles Bronson, and a lot of people who weren't well known then, Robert Blake, I had a great cinematographer, a Chinese man named James Wong Howe, who was one of the most famous cinematographers in the world. And I learned a lot about filmmaking doing that movie. It's 34 years and it's 18 films. In the meantime, I do the producing because it's kind of a lazy man's way of being creative. Somebody else has got the real headaches, and I get to kind of meddle with the fun part, the creative part. We've done over the years, since I started my little company, some films I'm terribly proud of that wouldn't have gotten made without it. Sense and Sensibility, The Fabulous Baker Boys, Sliding Doors, the first American film of Ken Branagh, Dead Again, which led to Sense and Sensibility. Presumed Innocent, which is a book I bought very early on. We're doing Scott Hicks's next movie. We're just started shooting a new Simon Beaufoy film, who wrote The Full Monty, a tiny little movie up in Yorkshire, up in northern England, about a hairdressing contest.
Dustin Hoffman was the one that seduced you back onto the screen.
And I had Dabney Coleman, a very good actor who ended up playing another role in the picture. I had him cast as the agent. And Dustin said, if Dabney Coleman tells me I'm never going to work again, I'm not going to put on the dress. And he said, if you tell me I'm not going to work again, then I'll put on the dress. I said, Dustin, come on. We're getting millions of dollars here to act. And he said, yeah, it's hard enough to do the make-believe. Why not make real what's real? And I didn't think he was serious, but he kept after me and after me. Pretty soon I started to get flowers. I get 24 red roses with a note saying, please be my agent, love Dorothy. Would sign it. His agent and my agent was a very powerful guy in those days named Mike Ovitz. And Mike would call me up regularly and say, you know, you're going to have to do this part. I'd say, no, I'm not going to do this part. I haven't acted in 20 years. I don't want to act. I got my hands full. This is an impossibly difficult movie. Nobody's going to believe Dustin's a woman. He's got a neck the size of a wrestler. I can't get rid of his beard. He looks ridiculous with the hairdos. I don't know how I'm going to get it. I don't have a script yet. I got a cast. I'm not, I got enough trouble. I don't want to have to worry about acting now. But it got so frantic with Dustin that he began to throw fits, and he went, and finally I had to do it.
How do you find the projects that you do want to direct?
It's more of a gut feeling than anything else, but if I had to define a test, I would probably say, without knowing it, I'm sort of try to imagine getting up for the next 2 years and thinking about it. I'd say, do I really want to hang out with these people for 2 years?
My name's Bill Vandenbroek.
Well, Harrison has grown into being a romantic icon.
If they find out about my husband, it's in the newspapers.
I saw her in The English Patient, and I fell madly in love. I dragged Harrison to the premiere of The English Patient. I said, this girl, you got to see her. And I said, after it was over, we were having a couple drinks at the bar, and he said, wow, she's really And I said, well, if she's coming to the office, I'm going to meet her tomorrow. And he said, what are you going to wear, man?